Hey, welcome! So today we are diving deep into one of the biggest moves you can make for your online business, going global. If you've ever wondered about taking your e-commerce brand beyond your own borders, you're in the right place. We're going to lay out the blueprint for how to actually make it happen. Let's jump in.
First things first, let's just wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this. The global e-commerce market, it's on track to hit an absolutely massive $6.56 trillion by 2025. I mean, that's not just a big number, right? That's a worldwide ocean of potential customers just waiting to find what you sell. The opportunity has literally never been bigger.
But, and this is a big but, here's the reality check. While that customer pool is huge, so is the competition. The digital shelf is more crowded than it's ever been. You've got millions of sellers out there on Amazon, eBay, Shopify, all fighting for the exact same attention. So the real challenge isn't just being online anymore. It's getting noticed. Which brings us to the million-dollar question, or I guess the $6.56 trillion question. In a world with this much opportunity and this much competition, how on earth do you win? Well, it's not about getting lucky. It all comes down to strategy.
Okay, so the first part of a winning strategy really starts with a mindset shift. You have to move beyond thinking just about your product. See, in today's market, it's no longer enough to just sell a thing. You have to sell a brand, a vision, a story. Let's dig into what that actually means.
This right here, this says it all. Think about it. A decade ago, having a great product was pretty much your golden ticket. You had a solid product, you were set. But today, a great product is just the price of admission. It's the bare minimum. To really truly win, you've got to build a powerful brand that connects with people on a much deeper level. And look, this isn't just a hunch. The data backs it up completely. A whopping 69% of consumers say they actively choose brands that align with their own personal values. People want to buy from companies they actually believe in. Your brand story, what you stand for, that's become a critical part of your sales pitch. At the end of the day, it's all about creating an emotional connection. The businesses that are absolutely crushing it aren't just shipping boxes. They're building a community. They're selling a lifestyle, a feeling, an idea that customers want to be a part of. All right, so you've built this amazing brand. You're feeling good, you're ready to expand, but now you're about to enter a new, pretty complex maze of practical challenges. Let's break down some of the biggest hurdles you're definitely going to face. You know, the second your product crosses a border, it's like the rulebook completely changes. All of a sudden, you're dealing with international taxes, different product compliance standards, new environmental regulations. It can feel pretty daunting, for sure. But these are all solvable problems, as long as you know what you're walking into. First up, let's talk about VAT. That's value-added tax. You can basically think of it as the sales tax for places like the UK and the European Union. And if you're planning to sell there, understanding and handling VAT correctly, well, it's not optional. It's a straight-up legal requirement. Getting this wrong can mean big fines and your shipments getting blocked at the border. That's why so many businesses use specialized software or hire local experts to get it right from day one. Next on the list, product and label compliance. This just means making sure your actual product, its ingredients, and even the words on the package meet the very specific, and often very strict, rules of the country you're selling into. You know, something that's perfectly fine in the US, like a certain food additive or a type of plastic in a toy, might be totally banned or need a different warning label in the EU. You have to do this research up front. It is absolutely critical if you don't want your inventory getting rejected.
And then there's this big one, EPR, which stands for Extended Producer Responsibility. This is a huge deal, especially in Europe. It's basically an environmental policy that makes you, the seller, financially responsible for what happens to your products and packaging after your customer is done with them. You know, the recycling and disposal. This usually means you have to pay fees into a national recycling program, and that's a cost you have to build right into your pricing model for those markets.
Okay, I know. Navigating that whole maze of taxes and rules can sound like a total headache, but this is where technology steps in and becomes your absolute best friend. The right tools don't just help you manage all that complexity, they give you a serious competitive edge. And the reward for getting this right, it's huge. We're talking about businesses that strategically expand into new countries, seeing their revenue jump by an incredible 30 to 50%. Then you layer on tools like AI for personalized recommendations, and you can boost sales by another 10 to 15% on top of that. Technology is really the engine that turns all that complexity into pure growth. Yeah, artificial intelligence is not some sci-fi buzzword anymore. It's a core tool for running your business. It can help you predict how much stock you'll need in different countries, automatically tweak your prices based on local competition, and even deliver marketing that feels like it was made just for that customer. It's all about making smarter, data-driven decisions on a global scale.
This is where integrated end-to-end software really shines. Seriously, just imagine this. Managing all your product listings from one central place. Handling orders from Amazon, eBay, and your website without a hiccup. Never overselling because your inventory syncs automatically. And managing all your global shipping from a single dashboard. That is the power of modern e-commerce tech. It turns chaos into control.
So, we've talked about the power of brand, we've navigated the major hurdles of going global, and we've seen how technology can be a game changer. Now, let's pull all these threads together into one clear blueprint for success.
When you really look at the businesses that are not just surviving but thriving in this global marketplace, they almost always do these 4 things incredibly well. 1, they build a real brand, not just a product. 2, they are obsessed with understanding their market and their customers. 3, they use data and technology to constantly get better. And 4, and this is a big one, they play the long game. They're focused on sustainable growth, not just quick wins.
So let's just be crystal clear about this. Success in e-commerce today is not about luck. It is not a lottery ticket. It is the direct result of having a smart strategy, finding a way to be different, and then executing on that plan, day in and day out.
And that really brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. It's the one you have to answer for yourself. In a global marketplace filled with millions of options, what is it that makes your business, your brand, truly unique? The answer to that question could be the beginning of your entire global journey.